Hello everyone and welcome back to Collegedunia Study Abroad. My name is Swapnil and today we are back with another interesting candidate जो कि इस वक्त हमें Canada से join कर रहा है. His name is Gauransh and he's pursuing his master's degree in computer science from the University of Montreal. University of Montreal is a public university and receives a large amount of funding from the government of Quebec. Due to this funding, cost of tuition at University of Montreal is way lower than what it is at other top universities from Canada and as well as US. University of Montreal के बारे में ऐसे ही काफी इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट्स के बारे में हम बात करेंगे विद गौरांश. बट इफ यू हैव अ स्टडी अब्रॉड ड्रीम, डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में जाओ, चेक आउट द फर्स्ट लिंक दैट्स आउट देयर, फिल इन द बेसिक डिटेल्स एंड आवर एक्सपर्ट काउंसलर्स विल रीच आउट टू यू इन जस्ट 24 hours. We also have two very interesting offerings, the visa guarantee package and the offer letter guarantee package, so do not forget to check them out as well. Now let's move ahead in our video. Hi Gauransh, how's it going? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, hi Swapnil. It's going good. My name is Gauransh and I'm from Delhi. I did my education from MATE, Maharaja Agrawal Institute of Technology, which is affiliated to GJSIP University Delhi. Before that, I did my diploma. For me, it was a bit different track than going through doing your class 12th and doing your BTech. It's not like that. For me, it was like after class 10, I did my diploma, which is people call it polytechnic as well, in computer engineering, and there I got something around 84% I guess. After that I did my bachelor's, and there my scores were like okay, it's like 9 CGPA, but like because of COVID experience was okay-ish, it's not that great. Apart from that, I gave IELTS and I scored a band of 7.5 overall. So yeah, that's a bit about
awesome. That's great. That's great. I think you have also moved to Canada just a couple days back, कुछ 15-20 दिन ही हुए हैं, right? So my first question would be, how does it feel, Gauransh? How does it feel to be in Canada, to be in University of Montreal and doing what you always wanted to do?
Well, it's a mixed feeling, I would say. First of all, there is a bit of nostalgia of your family and friends. But at the same time, you have really rush of excitement because of new place, new people, and a lot of new friends. It's always great.
Okay, so that's great. That's great. Now, Gauransh, I want to understand कि while you were deciding कि तुम्हें Canada में पढ़ाई करनी है, what were the colleges that you shortlisted for yourself? कहाँ पे apply करा, कहाँ से rejects आए, कहाँ से accepts आए? Can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, sure. So again, it's for me, I don't know why, but it's always a bit different journey than like a very normal process. I was a previous MyTex intern. So like last year, I came to Montreal for 3 months doing a research internship here at Montreal, at University of Montreal itself. And I worked with Professor Eugene Siriani on a project called Redis. It was a research project. And then later on this year, I got a mail from him that he's looking for a master's student and he'll be happy to have me. So I was like, okay, that's a nice thing. And considering the fact that I love doing what I did, the research and the development, it's like a mix of research and development for me. It's not always writing paper. And also to get that new experience, I was like, okay, let's go for it. But apart from that, I did consider a few colleges, looking for at least one of them being McGill. It's in Montreal itself, but yeah, it's like really a nice college, especially considering the computer science branch. And there is a research group called MILA that is particularly for artificial intelligence and machine learning. Well, I wanted to do my thesis over there as well, but the problem is that they expect you to have like some research paper prior, which is like at least 2 research papers, and unfortunately, I didn't had any research paper. So yeah, I ended up being like with my professor.
But did you got accepts or rejects from McGill and the other colleges that you applied to?
I didn't apply to McGill. I just considered it, but it was a bit of a problem considering the finance as well. Generally speaking, McGill is a bit more heavier on the finance side as compared to Udem. And
yes.
my professor was giving me a scholarship, so I was like, okay, then I ended up not applying there and like just going with the
Perfect,
University of
perfect,
Montreal.
perfect. Why don't you tell us about this scholarship and how did you got it? What
Yeah.
influenced your professor to give you this scholarship?
I think I really admire one person, that is my professor. In my whole academic journey, his name is Professor Udem. I told you before as well, but he is like a professor in software engineering domain, but he works like machine learning for software engineering. I don't know what did he like about me in my past internship that I still don't know, but I did my job, and then he was like, he's like, okay, he liked working with me, and then he was like, okay, we can do a thesis together, and then he offered the scholarship. So I would say my most of the study is pretty much funded. Like it's pretty much funded. It's like just 10% of what I have to pay, but otherwise, like in study and living for 2 years is pretty much funded. But the
That's
funding
awesome.
is
That's
not.
awesome.
Oh, thank you. But the funding is not completely from my professor. There are a few scholarships that I got. One is from a professor. The other one is from university. And the good part of University of Montreal, when we compare to other universities, especially McGill and other, that every international student here gets a scholarship. Like if you get an admission, you get a scholarship, which is of I guess the total fees is of $30,000 per year, like just 1 year fees, and you get like $10,000 scholarship. That's for sure. And that's really a good point for people to consider, because I know finance is a big deal when you want to do something like this. That
Yes.
is.
What if there is a student who wants a bit more from the scholarship front? What other options are available at the University of Montreal?
Yeah, sure. So, actually, on the terms of scholarship, I think as far as my experience and my friends are going like on at other colleges as well, I guess the most scholarship that you can really apply to is at Udem. And specifically, if you are in computer science branch, you have tons of scholarship. Like even the department at the department level, we have like department called BIRO, and that also gives you a scholarship. Apart from that, there are, I don't know, this year there are like 120 scholarships and something for international students. Although like it had their own slabs and stuff like that, but of course you have like good enough of opportunities to apply for. Other colleges sometimes do not have that. So yeah, that's a good point.
Perfect, perfect. So I'll come to your program a bit later in the conversation and how your whole batch is looking like. I'll come to those details. But first, I want to understand about your admission process. अपने admission process के बारे में कुछ बताओ. When did you start? What were the steps that you took? What were the important documents that you had to consider? And yes, please tell us.
Yeah, sure. I have been through this process, and I know like admission and visa is the most trickiest points for people to understand.
Yes.
So, well, generally speaking, the admission for like next year fall starts from this year's September, October. Depends on what colleges you are choosing. I'm saying, but like this is globally like what's happening. And specifically for Udem applications are actually open for a long time. It starts from September and it's open till February 10th or something. So you have like a lot of time to apply. The thing is that this university is actually a French university. I mean, like the major language of conversation is French. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit intriguing for non-French people to apply, but I can bet like it's not like you just don't have the experience here. People speak English, but the official language is a form. But you can simply use Google Translate or something like that to like fill your form. Form is like not that complicated, but it takes all your basic profile details. It takes your academic details, and if you have like someone supervising your thesis, like if you're going for a thesis-based masters, or if someone is there, some professor there who's already agreed to supervise you, you can just put their name. What that would do is that would really streamline your process of admission. So for me, fortunately, I have like two professors who's supervising my thesis. I put their name, and then from there, like after you apply all these things, you have to upload your transcript, which is the most important part. Again, on this point, people say like I'm not yet graduated, and like how many years of transcript can you do? So the answer is that when like till your last result, that's the point.
Okay.
For any, if you are in 8th semester or 7th semester, you have result as 6th semester, upload that. They do not expect you to to have an official transcript, because a lot of people in India have this thing, like different colleges give transcript and mark sheets are different things. But if your mark sheet is in English, that's good enough. You don't need to have like a really transcript and pay for that and get like, it's a big hassle to get it. So normal mark sheet would do. But if it's not in English, then yes, you have to get an official transcript that is in English. So that's the point. I mean, it should be in English. That's the only thing that they want.
Okay.
So,
what else? What are the other important documents that are important for it?
Yeah, sure. So apart from that, LOR is not mandatory. If you want to, you can attach. But since I am a supervisor, I don't need an LOR. But like if you're going for professional masters, which is like internship-based masters stuff, you can apply. You can give the LOR, and that will increase your chance of acceptance for sure.
How many LORs would you recommend for an international student that they should be providing?
I would say like at least one LOR, one good LOR. Like there are few LORs, which are very generic. Don't you go for them. I'm not saying get 5 generic LORs, get a good one, which like really, if someone can recommend you based on their experience. And it's really easy to guess like if it is a general LOR by just reading it, because if someone has worked with you, they know like what is your capability. Otherwise, they can write, it's like he's good, but yeah, just get at least one good LOR. But 2 is like really, really good.
What about your SOP though? Did you have to submit an SOP as well?
For University of Montreal, no, you do not have to submit SOP. They just have a paragraph in the form that you have to apply, like what are your research interests and things like that. And that has to be, I don't know, like 300 words or something. So it's not like big one. It's like you can just maximum is 300 words. So just describe them what you are interested in. Yeah.
So now, is it safe to say that University of Montreal में बहुत सारे documents की जरूरत नहीं है comparatively, मतलब to other universities and colleges in Canada?
Yes, I totally agree to this. Like that was the most easiest part. Like you just apply, just fill a form, attach your transcripts, you're done, and LOR.
Okay, perfect. That's very quick. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So what about your visa process? What happened with your visa interview? Try visualizing that whole particular scenario and tell us about your visa interview.
I guess for Canada, you do not require an interview for specifically for study permit. If there are some special cases, I don't know, but like for 90 of the people, you do not require interviews. Sometimes they might call you, but like that's really less happening. And the visa process is actually, I would say it's not that complicated. It's just that you have to go through the website of IRCC, which is like International Immigration and Refugee Council of Canada, something like that. So that is like the department that deals with all these things. They have actually a very good web portal. You do not have to go to any of like guys who are there, and like you don't have to really spend that much of
the agents and the consultants.
Agents, yes. You don't have to go to them. You are a graduate, man. You can study. Just go through their website. It's really intuitive website. What documents you need. They literally have a checklist of all the documents. I can tell you about that. So first of all, you need an offer letter, of course, from the university that you accepted. Second thing is like your basic transcript.
Conditional offer letter se chalega? Unconditional offer letter?
Thanks for pointing it. Even I had my conditional offer letter. So because the conditions is like I have to complete my graduation with 8 GPA. That was the conditional offer letter. And I guess most of them get this. And this is totally fine. It's not required. I mean, even if you didn't get your final result till visa, that's also fine. Because visa guys also want your transcripts. Give them the last result that you have. I had till 7th semester. I didn't have my 8th semester. And I gave that. It's good. So conditional letter.
What else?
Yeah. So visa process, I would say like your basic transcript, your passport and thing. You have to write an SOP for visa actually. I mean, it's not mandatory, but it is generally speaking that like, you should write an SOP. And the whole point of SOP is to cover 3 main aspects. One being why you are choosing Canada, why you're choosing this particular university. Second, your professional background. How you are specifically for academia and like something maybe if you have work experience you can add that and things. And the third being your finance. Okay, I mean of course we have to give a lot of documents related to finance. I'll come to that later, but in SOP mention finance in a very descriptive manner. So what I did was I took I created a table. One was like the money that I have, one was like expected expenses. And I literally felt like I have this scholarship, I have this loan, I have this, there's a thing called GIC, and all the money that I have, and this is my tuition fee, this is my, living expenses, stuff like that. So give them a very broad view that this is your finance strategy. That really helps, because if you give them a strategy, they think that you thought about it. This is not something that you just didn't think and just applied for a visa. And at the end, as we say, they expect you to return back to your country. So just you have to mention that, like, why you want to do and how you're going to help your country back. So generally speaking, it's like an unsaid rule that you shouldn't say, like, I want to go there for long, I want to get my PR. It's like that's like the general way.
What happens after you're done with your visa? How soon do you receive it? What's the wait time for the visa thing?
Well, okay, on that, I want to add a few things on the visa application itself. That results in your how fast you can get a visa. So Canada has two main process of getting a study permit. One is like the normal way of applying for the study permit with your all the basic documents. The other is called SDS, which is the Student Direct Stream. And that is actually the fastest way to get a visa. So they say, like, if you apply with SDS, you can get your visa in 20 days. And I literally got my visa in 20 days. So that's true.
Interesting.
But there are a few conditions for that. And the conditions are, first of all, you should have a GIC. GIC is a guaranteed investment certificate, which basically is like, before coming to Canada, you have to invest 10,000 Canadian dollars in a bank, like in an official bank that IRCC recognizes, and they give you a certificate. Okay. The reason of this is to actually manage your living expenses, because Canada, like, as per the record, they say like $10,000 is good enough for you to live 1 year. The average. So that's why you have to invest that. That's one document. Other is your IELTS. You should have an IELTS or TOEFL exam. I don't know if they allowed PET, which is Pearson English, but the two for sure is like TOEFL and IELTS. You can go to their website and check what band, but for IELTS they want minimum of 6 band. Okay. And then you should have paid your first year of tuition fees completely. Okay, like you have to pay like whole fees before going there. But again, most of people don't know about this. Here is a simple catch. I didn't pay my tuition fees, but I still got an SDS. So, and the reason is that if you are going to a thesis masters, which is generally funded, like if you're getting a good scholarship that vouchers your, expenses, then you can literally show them the proof of funding, your letter from professor or any scholarship letter, and that actually counts as your money. So they do not expect you to have really paid the tuition fees. But if you do not have the scholarship or anything like that, then I would say, you have to pay for that stream. But if you don't, then you can literally apply all your scholarships and stuff like that. And in the SOP that you read, just mention that I have enough money.
Now let's move towards your campus and the campus life and the initial reaction that you had when you saw your University of Montreal. Of course, तुमने अपनी university पहले ही देखी थी because you were there for the research, research thing, right? But tell us, how did it feel when you were there the first day at University of Montreal?
Yeah, I mean, I have to go back 1 year, back, but it was. I still remember, I never saw like in person in that big university, because in India we have a lot of big universities, no doubt in that. But I would say for me it was really a magical experience. I would say, like specifically if you just search for University of Montreal, it's really beautifully designed.
Yes, exactly.
It has a central pillar, and
the whole campus is very beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I love the thing is that here in general, campuses do not have boundaries and stuff like that as we have in India. I guess India we have everything. It's like the boundary and your campus should be there. It's like open, and Udem is actually constructed on Mont Royal, right? So it's like it's actually on a mountain. So this whole university is on a mountain, and the view is like right in front of. Like Udem. One side is your Udem, like the main building, and the other side is like literally the whole city. And that was amazing, like on the aesthetic side. But apart from that, like people, I met a lot of people. The thing is that since it is a French university, most of the people start with talking to you in French. But if you say them like, I do not understand French, they're good for English as well.
Okay. कोई problem तो ऐसी नहीं होती है ना बहुत major कि अगर French तो
Well, I would say initial first week or initial 1-2 week you will face this problem because you are not habitual of every time correcting everyone ki I don't speak French, I don't speak French, and neither they know ki you don't know French, right? So that's a bit trouble. I would say that's like the downside of the university for sure. But then it's not like no one knows English. You just have to ask them. I don't understand French. Can you speak in English? And then it's good.
Okay,
It's really good.
And I think over the time, थोड़ी बहुत French तो आ ही जाएगी. The max French I know is Je m'appelle Swapnil Tripathi. That's all I know. Apart from that, कुछ नहीं समझा.
Yeah.
Cool. I can see that you're getting your hands with French as well.
A little bit for sure. I mean, you have to learn it, man. Of course, when you're here. So.
Of course. Okay, so of course, University of Montreal is very beautiful. I can imagine the views that you might be getting over there. ठीक है. Now let's talk about your batch and the faculty that you have and the program that you are pursuing right now. Why did you choose MS in Computer Science?
Sure. So, University of Montreal is like a big university. It has everything from music, arts, medical science to your computer science and stuff like that. I'm basically at a department called DIRO, which is Department of Computers and Arts Sciences, right? Like Computer of Arts and Sciences. And in that, we have like the Information Technology branch. I'm a part of a research group called GeoDes. And that research group is actually owned by 3 professors, one of them being my professor, Professor Ejis, and there are 2 other professors. So that is sort of, you can say, my research group, my hangout area, my buddies.
Tell us about your buddies. Where are these guys coming from? What are their profiles? And yes.
Yeah, I mean, the best part of an international education, I would say, is that you really meet people from all around the world. In my lab itself, I have people from Quebec itself. I have people from Portugal. I have people from Budapest. I have people from Iran. I have people from all around the world, like really. So that's like the best experience that you can really get. People have their own cultures.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Okay.
Of course, that's amazing. I just hope that you do not speak ill about Cristiano Ronaldo to the people who are coming from Portugal.
No.
Are you a Ronaldo fan or a Messi fan?
Well, I'm a Ronaldo fan, man.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Viva Ronaldo.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
And apart from that, these are like the fun part of the group, but all of them are, I would say, like really, really qualified. Considering my experience, I would say like they're really qualified.
Can you tell us about their profiles as well? I want to understand what is the batch looking like.
Sure. So we have 3 main professors who are like professor here. After that, we have, I guess, 3 or 4 postdocs. So postdoc is basically after your PhD, you do some time of work with some professors before becoming a professor. Okay. That's like the postdocs, like after doctorate program. And these guys, one guy is actually from Brazil. He just joined a lab and he's working on model-driven engineering for game testing, something like that. Then there's another guy who is from Budapest. He is a PhD from I don't remember exactly the college, but yeah, he actually left our group recently and he joined as a professor at McMaster University in Toronto.
Oh.
Right, and these guys are doing research. I mean, crazy topics, man. They're doing things like digital twins, adding reinforcement learning to digital twins and stuff like that. So everyone is doing an amazing work, I would say.
What's your research topic?
So my research topic is basically using NLP and more specifically large language models, which everyone is dealing with, in the field of systematic reviews. It is like using AI for software engineering. So there are 2 domains: artificial intelligence and software engineering, like classical software engineering. So using artificial intelligence for helping the software engineering thing. I can broadly I can describe this only, but like in depth it's a lot more.
Yes. I think we can do all our research over the internet and understand what are the things that you're talking about, because I am a non-tech background. मेरे को कुछ भी नहीं समझ
Okay.
आया तुमने क्या बोला, but
I know that's what I'm
fine.
saying. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'll go home and do some research. I need to learn stuff. Cool. So, but that's interesting. That's interesting. Now, I don't think you'll be pursuing a part-time job like other international students, right?
Yep, not anytime soon because see, if we are one thing is there, people don't understand it. If you're doing a thesis master's and if your professor is paying you, that simply means that like you're doing job for him. I mean,
Of course.
it's a job, right? You're doing research, which is good for you, but of course you're working, right? So you do not really get time to do part-time jobs in that sense.
Yes, but just to understand a general perspective, Udem के पास part-time options हैं, मतलब आसपास क्या part-time options हैं other international students?
Sure. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are doing part-time jobs, so I have this idea. Udem is like on the, I would say like it's on the mountain, right? But like that's like small mountains right in the middle of the city. यहाँ से you go to like 2 stations. Sorry, it's like 2 kilometers down, and there you have area like Snowdon and stuff. There you have a lot of I would say restaurants and like things where you can do part-time job. Or else you can go to downtown, which is like half an hour journey, like 20 minutes, 25 minutes journey from here. And there, downtown is like the heart of the city. Okay, it's like everything is there, from restaurants to offices to everything. So you can go there, and there are like a lot of opportunities. Though I would like to mention this specifically in Montreal, that French is a problem if you want to do a part-time job, because as I said, this city is literally French spoken and French written, and everyone is a francophone. So if you are serving at front desk of any place, you should know French, right? So
Right.
that's why it's a big problem, and specifically people who don't know French have like found this difficulty. But that doesn't mean that you cannot do job. We have a lot of places which require English only. Like you have Indian restaurants, we have other stuff where you can just speak in English, but still that's way less in number as compared to the ones which are in French. So if you know French, man, this is like the heaven place for you.
Right. Okay, of course. So that's great. That's great. Now, coming to the expenses that you are incurring, right? Where are you living right now? Is it on campus or off campus?
Yeah, this is actually student dormitory of University of Montreal itself, where I'm living right now. And I don't know what happened, but like from the past year, like last year I was here, the housing was okay, it was easily manageable. But from this year, housing is so like the prices have hiked up, and if you want to get a good apartment, you really have to pay much. So I would say
Montreal में average rent कितना है?
अभी तो I guess like अभी increase होने के बाद I would say 600 or something is like average, 600 Canadian dollars.
Right.
Which is expensive. I'm not talking about like the main downtown or the harder city. I'm not talking about like if a bit far, like because Udem is a bit far from the main city, so I can consider Udem area and like other areas which are just like a bit far, but still commute is not a problem. So yeah, it's okay.
So what do you think? If we talk about the monthly expense, including the rent, including other expenses as well, and even the miscellaneous expenses as well, how much money does an international student require to spend the whole month?
Yeah, well, I actually did a bit of math before coming here because you have to do it and it's important. And considering that 600 is I'm not talking about student dorms because this is cheaper. The place where I'm living is like 450. But still, like, it's like just a room. So it's, but in general, 600 is for your housing that I'm considering. Then you can expect 600 to 700 for your other expenses, including your ration and including your normal, like, day-to-day expenses. Like you're going somewhere, you're having something. So I would say something around 1200.
I think somewhere this Canadian government has mentioned that international students require 750 or 850 Canadian dollars to spend in a month for a decent lifestyle. Is that true or is that not? That's what I want to understand.
Well, so the GIC thing that I talked to you about, right? This is actually your money that you transfer before, and once you come here, you get 2,000 rupees wins on the first month for your initial expenses, and every month you get 800. Sorry, not rupees, not bad. $800 and $2,000, and that $800 is actually calculated by government for the average expense. But since this was true, I guess 2-3 years ago, but not now. Since the market, like housing market, has shoot up, like really gone high. So you're like previously the rent used to be 400 or something, so you just got 200 increase on the rent. That's why I say like the average I consider right now after calculating all and on budget, it's like 1,200 or something. Like that's a number that can.
Okay, fair enough.
$1,200 per month.
I think this information would also be very useful for the people who are aiming for Canada. कि ठीक है, maybe 700 या 800 डॉलर में काम नहीं चलेगा Canadian dollars में.
Yeah.
You might spend some more. Cool. Okay. Now I want to come towards the future, Gauransh. What's your future in Canada? What do you have planned for yourself?
If you talk about me, I am more of circumstances driven guy. If you can say that, it's like how the things are happening. I just go with the flow. I believe in that rather than planning a lot. Because generally speaking, my plans never work out. So yeah.
Yes.
But I would say I still have this thing in mind. It's about experience, right? I never did research. If my master experience is good, specifically about doing research, writing papers, I might want to do a PhD. If it is not, if I'm like really fed up with that process of writing papers, reading papers, I would go to a corporate, but I'm really not sure at this moment because I just started. I need at least a year to understand where I will be in the next year. But in general, if you talk about the opportunities in future in Canada, on the legal side, that is, all the permits and stuff like that, that is actually really easy specifically compared to US. So if you have a 2 years master's, the Canadian government give you a 3 years PGWP, which is postgraduate work permit. Right. So you are allowed to stay here for 3 years and work. Just because you did your postgrad here. After that, you can apply for PR and like all, that PR, then the citizenship, stuff like that. But like that's the flow. And if you talk about opportunities, I would say Canada really needs people. I mean, that's the only reason that Canadian government focuses more on, bringing the talent from around the world. That people are less here, jobs are more, and you would get a job easily. The only thing that I want to add here is if you are not good with French, you can expect your job outside Quebec, not in Quebec. Because Quebec is a French promoter, and here to get jobs, even in IT, I would say 90% of them are like you should know at least the basic of French. They don't want you to pass any good French examination, stuff like that, but you should understand the communication type of French.
Okay.
But of course, outside you have a lot of job opportunities.
Okay, so you are telling me that Canada needs a lot of people, right? But on YouTube, we often see videos like Canada में jobs नहीं है, reality of Canada, एकदम jobs नहीं है, मत आओ यहाँ पे. What's happening with the creators and what's this buzz about?
They're true to some extent. So what's happening right now in Canada is 5 years ago, Canada is really, really, you would say there are no people here. It's abundant sort of country. Country is so big area-wise and resources-wise, but the population is so small that they're not actually able to manage their own internal country, right? All the things. And right now, the problem is that Canada is pushing the skilled people to come to their country and do the jobs. Okay, skilled with that, I mean engineers, researchers, scientists, medical staff. Not medical, sorry. All the other stuff. Okay. And the problem that we have is we have people to do the higher jobs, skilled jobs, but we do not have people to do the unskilled jobs, maybe construction work, maybe the job that doesn't require that much of educational qualification. Right. Moreover, Canada doesn't accept anywhere else medical degree, so they do not I'm not really sure of that, but I heard and read somewhere that you really have to do practice and do some sort of degree here to practice your medical science here in Canada. So that's where it's lagging. Okay, so it's really messed up in the terms of medical science and housing, mostly housing and all these basic stuff.
Okay.
And if you see the immigration rates, like Canada has increased a lot of immigrations, like really a lot. So the on number wise, I don't know, like its population is increasing by 1 million per year, and they have not like enough architecture to support that, like that
Right.
exponential growth. They are not able to handle it. Okay,
Hmm.
so that's the reason that people say like it's not that good to come to Canada, which I would say like medical science, like hospitals and stuff, like it's a bit of problem for sure. And finding like housing and stuff, but still, if you are skilled, and we're talking about like postgrads and you're skilled enough, you're a knowledgeable person, you'll find a job. It's more for those people who are not that educated and who want to just come here for work and stuff. They might have problems.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's
Cool. Cool. Perfect. Okay, Gauransh, I guess we are almost coming to an end now. Why don't we play a rapid fire round quickly and then we'll conclude this whole conversation? Right. I have two
sure.
small questions and I
Okay.
hope you give your answers very rapidly and very fierely as well.
I'll try my level best on that.
Yeah, let's try to be the Karan Johars of study abroad, right? Okay, so we'll start with the first question. My first question is, what is one pro and one con of studying at the University of Montreal?
Pro, you get a lot of good scholarships. Con, it's a francophone university, so it's a bit of issue.
Okay,
it's like
all right.
French everywhere.
All right. Second, what's your favorite hangout spot at the University of Montreal?
At University of Montreal, it's right in front of the main campus, like the view that I told you. Like one side you have Udem, one side you have city view. Like it's mesmerizing. Planes goes down. It's beautiful.
Okay, awesome. What's one pro and one con about your program?
Pros, I mean, this is a bit tricky question. For my program, like it's a computer science program, and I'm doing my thesis, so it's like always fun if you're interested in thesis. Con, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know about the cons because you decide very specifically that why you want to do your master's in a particular subject.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What's that one thing that you would want to change about your university?
At my university, I really wish they support bilingual like stuff and like they incorporate English good enough, because for new people it's get intimidating like when there are a lot of French, your mails are in French, so I would say that. And in general, like everything is pretty much good. You have good labs, you have good stuff, so it's not a big hassle.
Okay, my final question. Out of 10, try and rate your college.
This can be really biased, but I would say something around 7.5 to 8.
Okay, all right. Why not the other two stars as well? क्यों काटे वो तुमने 2 marks?
Sorry, for two 2 marks.
Yes.
I would say, see, if you talk about numbers and stuff, this university is good for computer science and for machine learning. Like this, there is a guy called Yoshua Bengio. He's a professor here, and he's like sort of a father of machine learning and AI.
Okay.
So it is good in that, but if you talk about other courses, it's not that great. Specifically, the engineering and technical courses I'm talking about, like let's say mechanical engineering or civil engineering. No, they're not there. So I cannot say like computer science is there, so it is the best university. No, that's not
right. Right. Very fair.
That's one factor, and other is I mean the language is a bit issue, I guess. I mean that's
cool. Okay, Gauransh, I guess this was it. It was great talking to you. You gave us a lot of information. And just to conclude this whole conversation, do you have any final advice that you want to give to all the viewers that would be watching this video?
Sure. Two things, not one advice, but two. First of all, people think that going outside of India for studying your master's, not only in Canada but anywhere, you need a lot of money, like the funds. But I would say if you're interested in research, specifically thesis or research, actually it's not the fact that you have to pay them. It's generally professors pay you. Like in general, professors pay you, and they pay you enough that you can sustain. Second thing, how to get them is the only way is to literally mail them. Like we say that cold emailing. So literally just mail them. I know that like reply ratio is 2-3 out of 100, but for real, mail them. But mail them carefully. Like go to their website, check what they want, and then mail them. That's the best way to start your journey with that, with getting a supervisor. I guess, that's it.
Perfect. Okay, Gauransh, thank you so much for your time. It was lovely talking to you. And yes, keep hustling. You are still new in Canada. I hope the country treats you good. And yes, all the very best for your life ahead. Cool.
Thank you very
See
much,
you.
Swapnil.
Bye.
It's
Bye.
really nice
Bye,
having you.
Gauransh.
Bye.
This was everything about the University of Montreal and Gauransh's study abroad journey. If you have any questions or queries, you can type it below in the comment section. Let us know what more do you want us to talk about the University of Montreal or studying in Canada in general. If you like this video, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel as well. Hit the bell icon as well and get regular study abroad updates in your feed. We'll be back with another video soon. Till then, this is me, Swapnil, signing off. Take care.